Rick, you ready, my friend?
Yes, good morning, Keith. I'm ready to roll. What are we talking about?
Let's go with gratitude for adversity, and let's have you kick it off.
Oh my goodness. Wow. All right, let me gather my thoughts here for a minute. Okay, so two things come to mind when I think about that, and that is that how easy it is for me to be in a groove when everything's going along just great. It's easy to go along with life when everything's breaking your way. Money in the bank, food in the fridge, people love you. You feel like you're all dressed up and handsome and pretty and all of that, and that's all ego talking. And it's also underlying, I think, a sense of feeling like if it's not this way, things are wrong. If it's not all pleasant, if it's not all good, things are wrong. I've had more breakthroughs in my life, more appreciation for life when I've had things that are adverse, when I've had to climb obstacles and get through on the other end, even though I hated it, rebelled against it, sometimes cried and wept because of myself feeling like it was too much. It never is, but that self-indulgence helps us realize that we're not in a place where we need to be. That self-indulgence for me was a big red flag. And none of it helps, right? You can complain about all the adversity in your life. You can share with other people. You can get on the phone and talk about how terrible it all is. The problem or the obstacle that we're struggling with is still looking at you right in the face. So I've found over the years that I've become more grateful for the crap that shows up in my life. And I start by saying that to myself when something bad happens. I'm working on a problem right now, a personal problem that's exactly that way. Started out with the idea, why everything's going, why in the hell did it, and I go down that road for 10 minutes. And at the end of the 10 minutes, I still realize, okay, now I've got to deal with this issue. I'm grateful, I say to myself, for an opportunity to figure out how this is going to roll, how I'm going to get out of this, how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to solve it for the greatest good of all involved, including myself. And once you open your mind for that, for me, once I open my mind for that, things start bubbling up that I can kind of see a way out. But often it's blind alleys. I might go down two or three blind alleys, be frustrated, be humiliated sometimes with what I thought might be a solution, but still interested in solving it, still walking through the adversity, going right through the damn thing. It's right there in front of you. You can't go around it. Drop the gloves at center ice if you're playing hockey and just have at it. That's what you have to do, what I have to do anyway, for my peace of mind. So I'm grateful for the stuff that's come in my life that has been very difficult to deal with. And I've come out the other side, not unscathed, full of scars, full of pain, but on the other hand, I've been able to figure out that everything that comes my way, I think I can handle. So I'm still scared, I'm still nervous, I still worry about things, but I also have underneath that, after I've gone through enough of these things, to know I can figure it out. I know I can figure it out. It's like anything new. Like if you're in sports and you're having a big game, you're in the Super Bowl and a lot is riding on your shoulders, or you're in trial and your client is looking at you to do a good job, or you're a doctor and this surgery is so important for this person's health and future. There's a sense of, I'm sure, nervousness in every one of those things, a fear that it's going to not work out. But at the same time, after you've gone through enough adversity, there's this underlying feeling that I've been here before and I'll figure it out. So for me, that test of here's your obstacle, now go figure it out is part of the richness of life that makes me very grateful for the adversity that I've had.
Rick, I love it, and I look back at my life where I've made the most important strides in terms of cultivating more and more inner peace. It has been through adversity, and I look at adversity very similar to how Michael Singer described it, or he helped me see it this way: is that all the adversity is an opportunity to let go of my lower self. And I make all of that like my highest purpose. It's like I'm watching my mind freak out and worry and be anxious and obsess. I'm watching my heart close and do whatever it's doing. And I just remember like I am the consciousness behind all of that. And if I can let that, you know, anchor me, then and then whatever the problem is itself is secondary. What's primary is me using this as an opportunity to continue to let go of myself. And Michael Singer talks about the wise person, when something happens to them, they hold their ego, their lower self, up to the world. So that situation, that event can keep taking parts of that away until there's nothing left. And that's what I want. I want this. If I'm going to go through this, whatever part of ego was bothered by this situation, I want that not to be remaining after I go through this. And the way that I do that is just to make sure that I've taken care of some of the things that would make it difficult for me to maintain or even be aware of the opportunity. So, am I working out? Am I getting my sleep? Am I surrounding myself with people that won't give me agreement, but that will give me support and they will remind me of what's really at stake here. And that is not missing this opportunity. Not to get through the situation. I'll get through that, just like you said. Like I'll get through that piece of it. But how do I get through it and what's on the other side of me? Do I get on the other side with a closed heart? Or do I get on the other side with some wisdom? Do I get on the other side with being more grateful, more compassionate? What do I, yeah, like let's say gratitude for the adversity. If I go through something and I'm not grateful for that experience, I didn't do it right. I did not do it right. I didn't get everything out of it that I could have. And so when something similar occurs again, then I'm going to have a lot of the same challenges. I'm going to have to go through the muddiness of not appreciating in the beginning, not really getting the value out of it, all those things. Like, why do I want to do that? I mean, I'm a big believer in, can I just learn the lesson once? Do I have to learn it 10 times? I mean, seriously, once is enough for me. I don't want to have to learn it again. So those are the things that really keep me focused and on the path. And like you, I'm still working on it, man. A lot of times I get it together and sometimes I stumble, but I feel like there's Kaizen present, as you taught me, the Japanese term for just a little bit better every day, just a little bit better every day. I just want to continue to do that. And I think cultivating this gratitude for diversity goes a long way in making that possible. And I just remind myself that, that whenever something happens, I'm just thinking like, oh my God, that didn't happen to them. Some people are like, that didn't happen to them. They're so lucky. I'm like, no, they got gypped. Like I'm better for having had that adversity and that experience, because it really allows me to deepen the human connection with other people and to meet them unconditionally with an open heart. And additionally, it allows me to let go of my lower self because that lower self, every situation that I've encountered, let's just say that it wasn't of my making, it's just the way that life showed up. My lower self makes it worse. My lower self amplifies the suffering. So that is the problem. It's not what's out there. It's my inability in here to be able to handle what's out there. So I just want to get those reps. I mean, when I'm playing pickleball, I was playing last night and someone kept beating me with the same shot. I was like, I want to see that again. I want to see that. And if I get beat with it again, guess what? Guess what the coach and I are working on Tuesday. Guess what we're working on. I want to see that again. Show me that. I don't want to be like, no, don't hit me with that shot anymore. No, no, give me the shot again. The same thing with all these other things, Rick. So I love this topic. I love what you shared and the wisdom, man. And I'm just so grateful to be learning from you every single day. On the days that we don't talk, Rick is in my head. Rick reminds me when something big happens, I'm thinking, Rick says, none of it matters. It's all going away. And it's all going away. So, you mean when I think about you with Mark Twain and William Churchill, life is just one damn thing after another. I just keep telling myself and that's not a bad thing. That's just like, man, I'm living to experience it. How great is that I get to experience this? No one else is experiencing the exact same way I am. I'm experiencing uniquely. What a gift this is. I mean, when you have that perspective, you go through life turned on all the time. When I'm turned off, that's a problem inside, not a problem outside. That's a problem inside. So I need to work on that. Rick, thank you so much. I love you.
I love you, Keith. Let me leave just 4 words that really help me bring this topic home, this idea of being grateful for whatever shows up, including the things that you don't like or you don't want to deal with. That's the mud of life. So here are the 4 words. No mud, no lotus.
Mm, love that. I
All
love,
right.
I,
That
I,
might,
I want to end with one thing too. This is something that Eckhart Tolle, he tells a story that this guru, this wise uh, leader, his disciples or students were asking him, like, why are you always so peaceful? Why are you always, so happy? He says, because I just think one thing, thank you for everything. I have no complaints whatsoever.
wow,
Thank you for everything. I have no complaints whatsoever. So
love that.
I love what you said. No mud, no lotus. And that is the truth. Thank you, Rick. I love you.
I love you, Keith. Great topic. Great insights. Thanks.
Thank you.